you make a mistake and you blame yourself so much because you're just like, if I'd not made this mistake, I wouldn't have made this loss, or this wouldn't have happened, or I wouldn't have affected this customer, or my product wouldn't have been affected. But then I've come to a point where I've come to realize and I genuinely apologize. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot to send some of the things. But then she didn't take it well. Like, she started calling me names. She started saying all sorts of, like, I cried that day. I broke down. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Precious and I'm back again with another video. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Wow, where have I been? It's been a minute. It's been a minute on this channel. I just felt like I needed a break and I took one. I feel like as you're approaching the end of the year, there's just so much going through your mind. Your emotions are just, because it's the end. You are reflecting just so much, and I feel like I just been releasing back-to-back content and I just got so exhausted and burnt out. So I needed a break, and that's what I did. So I'm back with more content. And yeah, if it's your first time here, my name is Precious K. I bring you content about my life. And if you subscribe to this channel, I've seen we've got a couple of new subscribers. Thank you so much. You are supporting a girl's dream. I always say, by subscribing to my channel, you're supporting a girl's dream, because the more subscriptions I get, the more you help me reach even more people. And yeah, so kindly like this video and subscribe if you haven't, because I have awesome content. Anyway, I want to just do a video. By now you've seen the title, 5 things I've learned in business in 2023. So if you don't know, I actually have a hair page and I also run a booth, so a 360 booth. Just reflecting and looking at it, I feel like 2023 has been one of those years with a growth curve. It's been tough, but it's had a lot of lessons as well. So I just wanted to share some of those. So when you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So for the first one is, sometimes you might be right, but to maintain your integrity and that of the business, you let your customers be right. Guys, this one I learned it the wrong way. So for example, I'm going to give an example of someone else's business because I can't remember exact times in my business. But for example, someone bakes a cake, right? And you know that cake was intact, like that cake was okay. The customer gets it, passes through bumps on the road, and the cake crumbles apart, and they come back to you and say it's your fault, but it was their fault. And in that instinct, the one thing you want to do is argue with them and say, but it's your fault. Which way did you pass in? But sometimes, just to maintain your integrity and the one of the business, you just accept and say, okay, fine, yes. Like, there are so many times, especially this year, where I found myself just, butting heads with customers because I feel like I'm right and you have to hear me out. And in that process, I end up not getting heard out, but the customer being one who we have a disagreement with, and they don't even want to visit my business anymore just because I wanted to be right. Sometimes wanting to be right comes with a cost, like where you're going to push it. There are some times where, yes, you have to defend yourself, but there are some times where it's not necessary. There's this saying that says the customer is always right. Yes, sometimes just let the customer be right. Choose your battles. Fight your battles wisely. So yeah, that's one of the things I've really learned in 2023, like literally practically, whereby some customers are just like, I was right, but anyway, it's okay. You win it. The customer is always right. And then the next one that I'll talk about, you are never fully equipped to learn some things on the go. Some experiences are your best teachers. So I found myself so many times this year where, like, you make a mistake and you blame yourself so much because you're just like, if I'd not made this mistake, I wouldn't have made this loss, or this wouldn't have happened, or I wouldn't have affected this customer, or my product wouldn't have been affected. But then I've come to a point where I've come to realize that I think there's a day, I can't even remember what happened, but when I wrote this down, I think that day something happened and I was so sad, and I was so low about it. Like, how could I make this mistake? And then I realized, I was like, I'd have never learned this if I never made this mistake. So sometimes experience is your best teacher. As much as you might read books and they might help you, but there's something that experience does. There are some lessons that you will learn that you will never forget because you experienced it. So you have to have a lot of patience with yourself. You have to be ready to forgive yourself. You have to be ready to work with yourself and grow with yourself, because it's not, as much as you might go for classes, as much as you might read books, but there are just certain things that you will learn on the go. Another thing is, most people say, before I start a business, I want to, know all about business. I don't think that's completely possible. That's even the way the part comes in and says you learn on the go. Like whatever you want to start, just start. You will learn on the go. You will learn the best. Maybe you want to start a clothing business and you order shorts and you discover it's not even actually what people want, but because you've started it, you're like, oh, so dresses is what people prefer. So yeah, just start and you will learn on the go. Be patient with yourself. It's not everything you will know. And number 3 is expand as you do what you do. Be looking for your next step and idea of expansion. This one I had to learn, especially being in a fast city like Lusaka. I know most capital cities are like, fast, and it just feels like everybody's just busy doing something big. Like it just looks like everybody's on the go. So to keep remaining relevant in your business or in the section, whatever you have doing, like expansion and improving should always be on your mind. As much as right now you're busy with what you have, you're busy with what you're doing, at the same time have a part of your brain that's thinking, okay, what's going to be my next step? What will I do next? Like what can I do next to improve my business? What can I do next to reach more customers? What can I, like, always have that mind of expanding. Don't start selling candles and just end at selling candles. Say, okay, I've not started selling candles. Let me go to something that, if you want to stick in the same thing, let me go to something that, is bigger than candles, will bring me even more profit, or will sell even at a higher price than what I'm selling, like the candles at. And you're like, okay, I'll start selling lamps. Or something like that. Like, just always be ready to expand your business. Like, don't want to remain at the same level. Growth is very important. Yes. Let's go to the 4th point. God is the one who gives customers, so rely on God and not your customers. So for this one, I think it reached a point where sometimes the business is so quiet, and it's just like getting to you, like, why am I not making sales like I should? And this is one thing I've really learned, like, even just from my church, and because my church has a lot of young entrepreneurs, not even just young entrepreneurs, just got a lot of people who are into like doing something. One thing I've learned is just to rely on God for customers. I know this might sound strange, like, no, you can't pray for everything. Like, go out there and look for people. And I'm not saying you're going to pray for customers minus advertising. So you do not tell us that you sell flowers and then you go to pray to God for flowers. You go to pray to God for customers and expect us to guess that you sell flowers. No, that is not what I mean here. Let us be clear. I very much believe in advertising tools, like advertise, because how are we going to know about you? Take yourself out there. It's very, very important. But what I'm just saying is that there are just times, guys, where it feels like maybe it's like, for example, the way January is coming and everyone says January is a dry month, and where you're just sitting and January is a dry month, probably won't make anything this what. But reach a point where you trust God. You're like, even in this point, like, I think one of my friends challenged me this year because I was complaining to her. I was like, business is not going well, I'm not seeing customers and whatnot. I feel like in this video I'm being very raw and honest, but I'm here for vulnerability. So yeah, like I was telling her that, and she was just telling me, she's like, pray for customers, pray for your business, pray that God brings you customers. So I decided to try it that week, and guys, I don't know where the customers came from, but the customers came. And not that I wasn't advertising, I was advertising because for me to get those customers, of course I was advertising, and God used that to bring people. So rely on God. Like, when you start your business, it's not okay, minus, I don't need you anymore, bye. No, let God be the center of your business. At the same time, don't forget to tithe. Okay, so for the last one, not every criticism is negative. Some are to catapult you and to help you improve your business, while some are just negative. So you will receive negative comments. I distinctly remember this year, I think somewhere in the middle of this year, I gave a certain customer a service, and I was shocked. Like, I thought I was being nice, offered this customer a discount and whatnot. It was so hard to get her to pay for it. And then I made a bit of a mistake, like when sending the products. I made a mistake and I forgot some, and I genuinely apologized. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot to send some of the things. But then she didn't take it well. Like, she started calling me names. She started saying all sorts of, like, I cried that day. I broke down. And I was like, she told me so many negative things, and I realized she's not the only customer who, like, I received negative comments from this year. And she was telling me, no, your business will not work, you will see what. Like, she said so much. But then I also had some who would say negative things, and I'm like, like, I remember, I don't know if I've said this story before, but like my 360 boot, like the first time I think the second time it was booked. Like they literally asked for a refund. They were like, the videos were not nice. Like we didn't like the videos. And I just examined, I went back, and instead of getting it and being so upset and saying, like, how would you tell me that? Like, how would you do that? But then I just came to a point where I was like, wow, probably this means like what I need to improve my services. Like I need to find a way of improving my services, and I worked on it. But then when you have that negative, other negative comment where it was like just so much, and it actually hurt me. Like there are comments that will be negative and will actually help you improve, and then there are comments that you just might just need to ignore and move on. You can't fight everybody. Some of them you just say, "Oh, God bless you," and you move on. Yeah. I'll add a bevla. I'll add one bevla. I feel like I've got so many notes, but I just want to stick to 5. I don't want to make this video too long. If you guys want a part 2, please let me know. If I get maybe 5, over 5, we want a part 2, I'll make a part 2. If I don't get over 5, I am making a part 2. The bevla or the imbasela I'll put on top is patience. I think it's underrated, understated, and people will say it, but just like saying it for saying it. But you definitely need to apply a lot of patience with yourself, with what you're doing, with people. Like you will really need the patience. I feel like this part of my life, my patience has been tested. I always tell people I'm a very impatient person. Like I don't like waiting for things. I want things to move fast. But like this side, I learned patience. I said, okay, we need to be patient with ourselves. We make a mistake, okay, we got this, let's keep going. Or you didn't realize something sooner, like, okay, got this, keep going. Something's not going as fast as you want it to. The customer is behaving some type of way. The business doesn't seem like it's you are just like, okay, I want to get rid of you. But no, that's not the right reaction, all of it. Like you need to apply a lot of patience. This is like growing a plant. So make sure you're doing everything, and in the right time, the seed will germinate. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know, because I've never done this type of content talking about business. And yeah, we're very hot, humble, open, and transparent. Anyway, kindly comment if you enjoyed the video and if you learned something. I'm really hoping someone picked at least something. And yeah, otherwise I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please press your like button, and I'll see you guys. Bye.